But are there other concerns that you have with preaching today?
Yeah, I think the confusion of the gospel and good advice is a big one. It's way more than that. A couple years ago, it felt like for me, it was the summer of AI. Wherever I went, people were talking about AI. And so maybe 2 summers ago, and ChatGPT
Years ago, and
teachers using it for grading and writing difficult letters and resumes. And so I thought, I think someday I'm going to see what AI or ChatGPT does with this passage from Paul. And I remember the passage. And I was stunned because I put the passage, write a sermon on, and then it was a passage from one of Pauline letters. And literally in 35 seconds, there was a beautifully worded, melodic sermon that flowed out. And what was interesting to me, so AI essentially what it does is look for all available examples of what you're asking for on the web, and then to kind of synthesize this. And what struck me was, this is beautiful, and it's crap in the sense of it's just telling you what you need to do. And so it's kind of a beautiful ending, beautiful beginning, beautiful ending. But the heart of it was, and I thought, okay, this is as good a reflection on contemporary preaching as anything. This is what it does, what AI does. It just does a instantaneous random sampling of thousands of sermons and commentaries on that particular passage, and then it generates in beautiful language a sermon. And I wish I could remember the passage or the sermon title or the.
So the problem was it was well stated, but theologically
it was good advice. I didn't preach the AI sermon, but more sort of open it up and then used a phrase or two.
Yeah.
And then I said, but do you notice something? This is all. And the first time in my entire preaching career, and the only time, at one point I said, because here's the thing, when you are hurting or when life is hard or where you're struggling, good advice sucks. When you're down and someone says, try this, cheer up, try this out, but go for a walk.
I asked students, you really want to portray yourself. Some of you are like 23 years old, and you want to portray yourself as an expert on marriage, an expert on human relations. Hello, would you like to find more joy in your marriage?
Yeah.
I said, remember now, the congregation actually knows your marriage, so be careful there. Yeah. But I said, why don't you just portray yourself as an interpreter of Scripture? This is what you spent years training to do. You know more about that than they do. So they have a right to expect you to do that.
Undoubtedly, in our congregations, there are people who are better at anything we'd want to get good at. Yes, very cool. Yeah. But what we're good at is taking that story and opening it out that may be three-dimensional and inviting people to think about the characters and how they write their lives. And mostly, we get to help them imagine God is still at work, still sending, still calling, still saving, still using, still redeeming, requested to record.